Minister Farrakhan is calling for the Million Family March coming up in October the 16th. And also, if you could say a little bit about, well, I guess that one, if you would like to end with that one, and
Sure.
Any comments that you would like to end with.
Sure. I think that family is really the heart of the African American community, other than our faith-based institutions, our churches, our mosques. I think that family is very important. It's important for us, though, to define family properly. That is to say, black people have always defined property in a collective way rather than a kind of a narrow, dogmatic, European-style nuclear family. So that families come in various shapes and sizes. If we are committed to family, then we should also be committed, I would argue, to equality between men and women, to gender, not gender roles, but rather gender emancipation, that it's important for the voices of black women to be listened to as well as the voices of black men. If there is a commitment to gender equality in discussing family, if there is a commitment to uprooting the kind of violence against women, sexual harassment or spousal abuse, if there is a commitment to thinking through how our communities and institutions can better emancipate the energies and talents of all African Americans, regardless of whether they're men or women, or boys and girls, then I think that this is a very positive discussion.
But you will experience some period of life when you are alone. And that is going to allow you the time for reflection and to go within and deepen your intimate relationship with Allah. But even when we're alone, we should always be in the process of preparing ourselves for marriage. Because without marriage, we don't have the power base that we must have in the black community to develop the economic freedom that will allow us self-independence. That is why marriage is important. Because marriage, first and foremost, protects the species. It ensures that we go on. But marriage is also an economic power base. In that, you will find, if you study wealthy people, the overwhelming majority of extremely wealthy people are married and have been married for a long time.
The reason that we have the challenge that we have in our community is not a Dayton problem, it's a national problem. That is, the young people today, especially African American males, feel disconnected. There's not a connection. There is not the sense of what has got each one of us here, that's hope. And so there is a view in the community, if you listen to the lyrics, that they are connected to. There is a view, I'm giving you the diagnostic now, not the prescription. There is a view that if you are educated, if you speak with some command of the language that is intelligible by more than a smaller group of people, which is kind of universally understood, if you speak with that, then you don't have much street credibility, so you go the other way and you try to attach yourself to things that are going to give you street credibility. So it's not malice without some forethought. There's malice with thought, but it's malice also that's supported by a lack of hope. So someone who is getting street credibility from selling drugs, someone who's getting street credibility from abusing women, someone who's getting street credibility from riding around and with an Escalade that's got the spinners on it. You don't have to be educated necessarily to do that. You have to have a certain kind of education, which is a street education, that commands a premium in the neighborhood. The other kind of education doesn't. So how do we collectively, how do we have a prescription part now, how do we make what we do in this world relevant to the people who are in the midst of all the violence? That's our challenge. I think you will, if you pull a few of the people who are out committing the violence, if you pull them aside and try to connect with them, not using the things that we're comfortable with, the things that they're comfortable with, got to stay real. If you don't stay real, you're going to disconnect. And you don't have any legitimacy. So what do we need to do? We need to make ourselves more relevant in the public schools. We need to make ourselves more relevant in the churches. We need to give them opportunities in business.
Even though we have money, we have proven that we haven't used our money wisely. Is that right? We have dollars, but we don't seem to have much sense. So we have a divorce that has always taken place and relaxing in the black community where wisdom and money have always been separated from one another. You find a man with wisdom and he doesn't have the means to facilitate his ideas. Then you find another black man or woman or organization that may have the things, but they don't have the wisdom to use their things wisely. We are people that right now in America, we have over $697 billion a year coming into our hands. 40 million people with $697 million, while Spain has 428 million people and they only have $700 billion. But Spain has their own government. Spain has their own country. Spain has their own system of economics. Spain has their own facilities and factories by which they can mass produce things to facilitate the needs of their nation. How is it that one nation can maintain itself with the same amount of money but they're 10 times our population? When we are black people in America with 40 million strong and have almost $700 billion and we don't have our own schools, our own hospitals, our own factories, our own government, our own system of doing things. Now something has happened to us, black men and women. Well, we are people that now blame the white man for 95% of our problems, but spend 97% of our money with them.
Look at that, look at that. It means that we have to live by and operate by a new definition of leadership, especially if you are a black person in America. And from my perspective, I think for us to fulfill this anointment, to fulfill this responsibility, to be a leader, to lead our people and to strengthen our people, to be a leader, you must be awake and alert and dissatisfied at all times. Let me repeat that for you. To be a leader in the 21st century is to be awake and alert and dissatisfied at all times. Oh yes, we have come a long way, but we have much further to go. We have garnered much in this great community, but we still have much more work to do. So I am not happy. I hope that you are not happy. I know that you're not happy. But I am motivated by a positive anger directed towards positive change. That's why you're sitting here. You're looking for change. Why is change important? Because you will never change anything that you tolerate. And you will only change things when you get angry. You are leaders. We were not angry about it. We were not happy about enslavement. We got angry. We freed ourselves. It took time. We were not happy about the lack of civil rights, voting rights, and public access. We got angry. And we changed it over time.
You see, most of y'all don't know what's happening, because y'all just read the white papers, but you got to read the black papers. And all the white folks that work for you, they have to read the black press, and then you can see the real deal.
That's right.
It was 2 months ago, right down the road in Chicago, 6 black convicts escaped from death row. In Chicago Sun-Times, they come out and say they broke into Walgreens drugstore. And then the white press tried to philosophize. They must have been looking for some drugs. Then the black press came out, Chicago Defender, and said they broke into